So it's a big week in the product launch formula world. Our world has gotten even bigger. So quick history lesson. I started my first online business back in 1996. I was selling newsletters about the stock market back then. And after about 8 years of that, where I'd gotten pretty good at marketing and pretty good at launching things, I came out with my product launch formula in 2005. Had no idea what to expect, but since then I've had tens of thousands of students go through my program, go through the product launch formula, and they collectively have gotten $1 billion in results. That's billion with a B. $1 billion in launches for my students. Actually, it's way more than $1 billion. And I think it was probably around 2012 or so where I had the first non-English language version where I had a licensee, Erico Roca, created a version in Portuguese. And since then, Erico's gone on to do amazing things. And then we had, it was followed in fairly quick succession by Marco Scabbia doing an Italian version and Tadeki Aikida doing the Japanese version. And so we had, in addition to English, we've had 3 different versions in languages other than English. And now this week, Luis Carlos Flores just started the launch of the Spanish language version of Product Launch Formula. And by all signs, this is going to be the quickest and biggest launch of Product Launch Formula in a non-English language version. Luis is just killing it. Right at the beginning, in the first few days, he had over 60,000 people opt in to go through his pre-launch training, to go through his masterclass. Absolutely amazing, incredible. And so, I've known, way back in '96 when I started out, the first sale I ever made from my home in the basement in Colorado here was to a gentleman in Switzerland. And right from the very beginning, I'm like, okay, this is, this isn't a provincial little business. It's potential to be worldwide. And of course then, well, that was a long time ago in 1996, but, here we are. Obviously the internet's a thing. That was the big question back then, is can you actually make money online? Well, it's obviously a thing. It's worldwide. And I've had students in pretty much every country you could imagine, that I could imagine. And the ability now to have these foreign language versions, to take it outside, I've had, clients from all over the world, but they need to be English speaking. But now, if you speak Portuguese, or if you speak Japanese, or if you speak Italian, and now if you speak Spanish, you can have native language versions. Absolutely amazing. I know one of the questions that's going to come up is people watching this going to say, hey, Jeff, how I speak, such and such a language, I'd like to license PLF. Or maybe you have your own program and you would like to license it outside of your language. And I don't know anyone that's having as much success doing this as I am with Product Launch Formula. So first of all, you have to have a great program. You have to have something that's worthy of being shared around the world. But what's worked for me, first of all, these 4 men, they're all men at this point. Hopefully we'll get some women who will be licensees soon. But right now at this point, these 4 men, they're all just amazing people. They're people that I've come to know really well. And I think that's been the real key, is if I'm going to trust someone with my brand, then I need to trust them. And so every single one of them have been long-term Product Launch Formula owners. They've done launches on their own. They've had great success, so they are qualified to teach the material. And every one of them has been involved in one of my high-end programs, like Launch Club or my Plat Plus program. So I've spent a lot of time with them and gotten to know them really well. So even though it sounds like we've got 4 of these, but like I said, it's been about 7 or 8 years since we started doing this. And so I've moved very slowly, very, very slowly. Generally, Erico, he took, a year and a half or 2 years trying to romance me into granting that first license in Portuguese. Marco, the same thing. He took years. Hideki, the same thing. He took years. And Luis, this has been a years-long process. So I would say if you want to be a licensee of PLF, get into the program, get into Product Launch Formula, do some launches, have success, get into Launch Club, get into Plat Plus, get to know me and my team, and who knows. And if you're looking to do it for your program, I would highly suggest that you get to know any potential licensees really well before you make the deal. Because you're trusting someone with your brand, and at the end of the day, that's a critically important thing. Your brand and your brand reputation. So if you want to follow along with Luis and what he's doing, you're a Spanish speaker, I'll put a link down below the video where you can go check out what he's doing. I think he's about to blow up the entire Spanish speaking world. I think he's going to change a lot of lives. He's about to introduce hundreds, maybe thousands of people to Product Launch Formula and change the course of the history of some countries outside of the US. So pretty cool. It's a big week for Product Launch Formula. So wherever you're watching, scroll down, leave a comment for me. Look for the link to Luis's pre-launch, and let's go get him this week.